All right, shalom everybody. So here is part 2 as we're moving forward examining the prophecies of the book of Matthew. And the next one we're going to deal with is Bethlehem, where it says that the Messiah will be born in Bethlehem. So we're going to start off by reading the passage in Matthew, and then we're going to go to its original source, of course. So here we go, Matthew chapter 2, verses 4 through 6. And having gathered all the chief priests and the scribes of the people together, he asked them where the Messiah was to be born. And they said to him, in Bethlehem of Yehuda. For it has been written by the prophet, But you, Bethlehem, in the land of Yehuda, you are by no means the least among the rulers of Yehuda. For out of you shall come a ruler who shall shepherd my people Israel. This passage states that the Messiah will be born in Bethlehem, and that he will be a ruler that will shepherd Israel. The context of the prophecy begins in Micah chapter 4:1, so we will go there as well. So here we go, Micah chapter 4 verse 1, and we're going to be ending in 5:15. Let's take a look at the full context and let's see what it has to say. And in the latter days, take note. When's this occurring? In the latter days. This is an end times prophecy right off the bat. End times, latter days. It shall be that the mountain of the house of the Lord is established on the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and the people shall flow to it. None of this happened in the time of Yeshua. And many nations shall come and say, Come, let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob, and let him teach us his ways, and let us walk in his paths. For out of Zion comes forth the Torah and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. This did not happen in the time of Yeshua. Keep paying attention. And he shall judge among the peoples. He didn't judge anybody. He wasn't a judge. And reprove strong nations afar off. They shall beat their swords into plowshares. That certainly didn't happen. Yeshua said he didn't come to bring peace, but to bring the sword. And their spears into pruning hooks, and nation shall not lift up sword against nation. What did he tell us in Matthew chapter 23 was happening? The wars and rumors of wars. Neither shall they teach battle any more, but each one shall sit under his vine and under his fig tree, and no one to make them afraid. For out of the mouth of the Lord of hosts has spoken. For all the peoples walk, each one in the name of his own God, but we walk in the name of the Lord our God forever and ever. And in that day, declares the Lord, I gather the lame, and I bring in together the outcast of those who I have afflicted. Well, that certainly didn't happen in Yeshua's time. As a matter of fact, shortly after the destruction of the temple happened, and the people were dispersed, not gathered. And I shall make the lame a remnant, and the outcast a strong nation. And the Lord shall reign over them in Mount Zion, from now on and forever. And you, O tower of the flock, stronghold of the daughter of Zion, it shall come to you. The former rule shall come, the reign of the daughter of Jerusalem. Now why do you cry aloud? Is there no sovereign in you? Has your counselor perished? For pain has gripped you like a woman in labor. Be in pain and deliver, O daughter of Zion, like a woman in labor. Now you are to leave. Hang on, I lost my place. For now you are to leave the city, and you shall dwell in the field, and you shall go to Babel. There you shall be delivered, and there the Lord shall redeem you from the hand of your enemies. And now many nations shall be gathered against you, who are saying, Let her be defiled, and let our eyes look upon Zion. But they do not know the thoughts of the Lord, nor do they understand his counsel. For he has gathered them like sheaves to the threshing floor. Arise and thresh, O daughter of Zion, for I make your horn iron and your hooves bronze. And you shall beat many peoples into pieces. And I shall seclude their grain to the Lord, and their wealth to the master of all the earth. Now you are raided, O daughter of raiders. A siege has been laid against us. They strike the judge of Israel with a rod on the cheek. But you, Bethlehem, here it is, Ephrathah, you who are little among the clans of Yehudah, out of you shall come forth to me the one to become ruler in Israel, and his comings forth are of old from everlasting. Therefore he shall give them up until the time that she who is in labor has given birth. And the remnant of his brothers return to the children of Israel. And he shall stand and shepherd in the strength of the Lord, in the excellency of the name of the Lord his God. And they shall dwell, for at that time he shall be great to the ends of the earth. And this shall be peace. When Ashur comes into our land, and when he treads in our palaces, we shall raise against him 7 shepherds and 8 leaders of men, and they shall shepherd the land of Ashur with the sword, and the land of Nimrod at its entrances, and he shall deliver us from Ashur. And when he comes into our land, when he treads within our borders, and the remnant of Jacob shall be in the midst of many peoples, as the dew of the Lord, as showers on the grass, which do not wait for man, nor delay for the sons of men. And the remnant of Jacob shall be among the nations in the midst of many peoples, like a lion among the beasts of a forest, like a young lion among flocks of sheep, who, if he passes through, shall both tread down and tear. And there is no one to deliver. Let your hand be lifted up against your adversaries, and all your enemies be cut off. And it shall be in that day, declares the Lord, that I shall cut off your horses out of your midst, and I shall destroy your chariots, and I shall cut off the cities of your land, and I shall pull down all your strongholds, and I shall cut off witchcrafts out of your hand, and let you have no magicians. And I shall cut off your carved images and your pillars from your midst, so that you no longer bow down to the work of your hands, and I shall pluck your Asherim out of your midst, and I shall destroy your cities, and I shall take vengeance in wrath and rage on the nations who do not obey. Micah chapter 4, verses 1 through 5:15. So let's examine this again. The full context reveals that the timing of this prophecy regarding the Messiah that will arrive, who will shepherd Israel, actually comes in the latter days, end times prophecy. The time when Judah and Ephraim will be reunited, and the Torah will go forth from Zion, and the third temple will be built, and the rightful king of Israel will sit on the throne, bringing peace throughout the world. Like the prophecy in Daniel regarding the vision of the statue that Nebuchadnezzar saw, the rock, which represented the Messiah, is only coming once. And it is when God's people will be regathered. So this was part 2, dealing with Bethlehem. We're going to keep on digging, and we're going to see what else has been taken out of context to try to prove a point that simply does not exist. Shalom.